Hello there, and welcome back to Between You and Me. I'm your host, Stardoll Thoston, and today, okay, I'm going to stop that. And today is actually the crossover that you've all been waiting for, because for the first time ever on semi-live television, not live at all, we are going to have a Miss Hawaii and Miss Hawaii USA showdown. Two women will go head to head and fight for their life. Just kidding, but we will be fighting. My next guest is none other than our current Miss Hawaii USA. She is from Lahaina, born in California, and is a graduate of UH Manoa in biology, current medical assistant, and also does a lot for our community. She is reigning from a long line of Miss Hawaii USAs, aka just her sister. But she's fabulous. She's great. She's Breea Yamat.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Wow.
I'm so excited to get this party started.
I'm so sorry. That was like the worst intro of all time.
No.
I got my stuff wrong.
No, it's okay.
Please
fine.
forgive me.
We're moving forward.
We're moving forward. I'm like almost like, do I do that again? But I just feel like that was
so
authentic to our moment.
We love it.
We love it. I'm honored that you're here. Okay, so people who don't know, I was Miss Hawaii of Miss America.
Yes.
And Breea is Miss Hawaii USA.
USA.
So I went to Miss America. Breea goes to Miss USA. Tell us the main differences competition-wise of our two pageants.
With the one reason why I didn't run for America was because you guys have a talent.
No way! I didn't know that was why.
Yeah, so when I first decided to run, I was actually in college and I was looking at the different pageants and I saw with the America system that you had a talent and I was like, girl, I do not have a talent. Like I could play 2 songs on the piano and that's it.
What's talent?
I mean, like not that good though.
Mary, I didn't have a talent. I made that up.
You are a star.
Oh my God.
You are the talent.
You are Breea, the talent right here. Okay, sorry, keep going.
So I looked into other pageants and then I found Miss Hawaii USA and I just loved it because it seemed very glamorous. Like we compete in swimsuit, we compete in evening gown, a personal interview, and onstage question.
So you
and
say
I just
that
love
sounds
the glam.
That sounds so much fun, but the idea of getting on a swimsuit on a stage makes me want to like convulse and shake on the ground.
No, it used to be my favorite. I would say like every single year that I competed, I was like, get me in a bikini, like let me show off.
That's how you know she was raised with a rockin' body.
Yeah,
like
no,
she's always
girl, no, I used to be chubby when I was a kid.
Shut up.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, me too.
Yeah.
Wait. Hi, glow up.
Glow up. Slay.
Period. Okay, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So you always wanted to do pageants.
Yes. I remember distinctively when I was probably 5 years old, I was always in sports. Like my dad had me and my sister in soccer. We did taekwondo. We did tennis. Like we did all the things. And I saw a pamphlet for like a Miss Little Starlight, something like that. And then I brought that attention to my parents and I was like, oh, I love this because I was always very girly. I like makeup. I like sparkles. And then I was like, can I do this? And then both my mom and dad were like, absolutely not. Like no one in my family had done pageants before. And they're like, you're crazy. Like,
Yeah, like,
no,
you're not allowed.
So they're like, yeah, no. But it wasn't until I finally graduated from college that I was like, I make my own money. I finished my education. Right. I'm going to do this. And then my parents were like, okay, do it. And then history, like all these years later. And then here I am.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so fabulous. Okay. And also to preface, Miss Hawaii and Miss Hawaii USA, they're not really allowed to do anything together. Like at events, like if you're in Crown and Banner, it's either Miss Hawaii USA or Miss Hawaii because technically they're in competing
systems.
They're competing systems. So this is really exciting because we're breaking all of the rules.
Look at us, rule breakers.
I know, which is actually kind of illegal because you're the current Miss Hawaii USA.
No, but we love us, so
we love us. You're not in Crown and Banner, so
there's
it's actually
no rule.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I want to know, you majored in biology, which is very impressive. Like I think people look at
Thank you.
Look at pageants and they go, "Oh, bimbos." You know, that's definitely something that we're all used to hearing.
Yes.
But actually, this is like a group of women that are so intelligent and just like chasing things. And you're actually a doctor. Like
I'm not a doctor.
Well, like
not yet.
You majored in biology. You're a doctor to me. But do you want to go to med school?
That was always a dream. And that stemmed from when I was really young because growing up in Lahaina, we had like one doctor's office in the whole island. I remember when we would get sick, we would always get a little scared because it would take like 2 weeks to actually see the doctor. And so I believed from a very young age, like I remember knowing that there was a huge need for doctors and healthcare. And so I think that's what like initially sparked my interest in it. And then I love science. I love helping people. I'm a cancer. I'm a natural caretaker.
Oh, okay.
So it was like everything just lined up. And yeah, I definitely want to do that still.
Wow, you're very impressive.
Oh, stop. I'm just blushing this whole time.
I can't tell behind your concealer. No, just kidding.
Thank you.
No, I'm such a big fan of you, specifically because you won on, was it your 4th try?
My 5th try.
5th try.
Girl, 5th time's a charm.
So I went through one time, and given it's a different system, right? But I was saying, I don't know if I could ever do this again. Like, it's so taxing. It's so hard. And, you know, people look at us like it's just like,
they're like,
walking in heels.
That's easy.
But it's just kind of the worst thing ever in the moment. Like, it's incredible. And the prep is really the good, juicy stuff. You know, you meet a new version of yourself. And that's why I love pageants. But there's also a side that's really aggressively out to get your worth and makes you insecure. And can you just share a little bit about how you found the strength to keep going? What drove you to keep pushing?
Yes, I feel like pageants have been the best and worst thing that I've ever done. And because it was always a dream of mine to be Miss Hawaii USA when I was young, like this was the ultimate goal, was to win. And I remember the very first year that I ran, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a coach. It was just, I showed up to these events. And I remember the very first event that I went to, all of these girls were beautiful. They're so well spoken. They were dressed to the nines. And I was here in like a little sundress. And I felt so out of place. And I remember thinking like, I never want to feel that way ever again. Like I felt so unprepared to show up to this event. And even when I competed that year, I got top 10, which was kind of just like, okay, like
that's huge. Yeah.
Thanks. It was just like, okay, whatever. But then immediately after, I was like, okay, I really want to take this seriously and win. And so I competed the second year and I joined the Oahu prelim, which is Juliet's prelim at the time. They don't have it anymore.
Okay, I was like, I didn't know she had a prelim.
Yes, they had it for, I think, 3 years. 3? Yeah, 3 years.
Legend.
And I won Miss Waikiki USA. So there was like 4 of us, or 3 of us technically, who won. And I finally like had preparation that year. I did all the interview, I did the walking. And when it came to, I was in the top 5, which was like, okay, good. Like, this is better than last year. They had my onstage question came up and I completely froze.
No way.
And it was like the most embarrassing moment of my life. Like they asked me the question and I had no idea how to answer. I literally was like if you look back at the video and I can't get myself to look at it, my face is literally like, and I'm like, oh my God. And I paused for so long that the audience was clapping to like get me. And I was like, okay, I like totally bombed it.
Yeah.
And so because I had like that big of a stumble, I came back next year. Or no, immediately after I was like, I'm done. Like it's too much work, too much effort. You're like preparing for a whole year for this to get not the result that you wanted. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. But then come the 3rd year, I joined, this was COVID year.
Okay.
I applied to medical school for the first time.
Chee-hoo.
Didn't get in.
Oh.
Obviously. And it was 1 month until the pageant. And I thought, you know what? I already applied to medical school. I'm going to do this pageant. I already know how to
1 month prep.
1 month prep.
Wow.
I know. So when I look back at it, I'm like, probably should have done that. But I did it. It was COVID year, so there was no live audience. It was really weird. We had to wear masks and everything. Yeah, it was very interesting. We're in like a little office space.
No way. And they just recorded it.
Yeah.
Weird.
So very interesting. Not like a typical pageant.
Who won that year?
COVID year, Ali Chu. Yes.
Okay.
So I still placed top 5.
Yep.
And then I thought the following year, I was like, I'm done. Like, this is too much effort. And then I was thinking, okay, my sister, she's my interview coach. She's brilliant. She's smart. I told Kiana, I'm like, at the time, she was going through some health problems. And I said, if you run for Miss Hawaii USA, just like put your health as a priority, you're going to win. Like, you're so likable. You're so smart. And of course, I was right because that year I didn't run. My sister ran and she won.
Which we love.
Which we love.
We are big Kiana stans here.
We are big Kiana stans. I just remember crying when she won because I was like, oh my God, my sister, she's so beautiful. Like, I felt like I won. I was like, she did that. Like, we did that.
Yeah.
And then, I know this is such a long story because I've ran for so many years.
No, I'm here for every single second of it.
And then the following year, I was like, okay, I'm going to run because I want my sister to crown me. I kind of prepped for it, maybe like for 3 months because we're so focused on Kiana Miss USA that I like didn't think I was going to run until I was like, no, I would really love my sister to crown me. And then I got top 5 again. And I was like, okay, girl, you ran 4 times. Your sister had already won.
Yeah.
I was like, if I'm going to run another time, like I have to do every single thing that I possibly can to prepare so that I leave no leaf unturned.
Right.
And that's exactly what I did.
You did a lot.
And I won.
Amazing. And now you're the
you.
most iconic Miss
my God,
Hawaii
stop.
USA. I mean, you did so well at Miss USA, but did you, I wonder because, you know, some judges and some people are very closed lips about like what you could work on, why they didn't choose you to win.
Yeah.
Did you know what your deficits were? Do you think there were any deficits or do you think it was just like, it was your year?
I actually never got feedback from the judges all the other years that I ran, but I know for me personally, it was my interview. I think because I was always so nervous, and I think because I was a pre-med or I am a pre-med, I always try to put on this fake facade of like, I'm the smartest girl in this room. And I think it obviously didn't come off authentic.
Yeah.
It's like, who's this chick coming in
Oh,
here?
I think she's freaking smart. Yeah.
Exactly. And I knew, like, I was never oblivious or delusional about the fact that I didn't win. I wasn't like, no. I was like, girl, Breea, you know what you need to work on. You just need to do it. And it was, especially after my flop that second year with the onstage question, I knew I had to work on my onstage public speaking and my personal interview. And like walking has always been fun for me. Like that's fun. I like to do all the turns and stuff. So that came a little easier.
You slay the turns.
Oh my God, thank you.
Oh my gosh. There was one day that we went to, I just was in pageant and I was just like, okay, I'm going to just do this. Like I had no coach either. I was training for Miss America and it was you, me, Breea, and Juliet.
Kiana. I am Breea.
Mary. Am I okay? That's what I meant. So it was all 4 of us and you're walking. I'm walking and I'm just like very regular. Like later Juliet was like,
you were not regular,
no,
girl.
Juliet was like, it needed work. But then you come out and you're practicing for Miss Hawaii USA. And we're still like 6 months out. I'm like, wow, she's really dedicated. And you're just like the epitome of just gorgeousness.
Aww.
And your turns and your choreography. That was like, I was just so in awe, like, oh my gosh,
thank you.
This is what it's supposed to be. Like, what am I doing?
No, you were so good.
Oh,
stop,
please,
girl. You need to
please.
give yourself more credit.
No, but I just remember being like, and that was one of the first times we had like had more of an interaction. Yeah, so you slay.
Thank you.
And I was there for Miss USA.
Yes,
and
you were.
Slayed. You were the only girl who pinned down her cape. They give them like these capes for like their swimsuit, and you pinned it down. Everybody else was like falling off. I'm like, this girl knows what she's doing.
I was prepared.
Period. So what does preparation really look like for you, like into a pageant? You know, like you've talked about doing a little bit more of the interview prep. What changed? Like, what did you do? I know you did an improv class, right?
Yes. So when it came to my interview prep, I did 2 things that I feel like completely changed my life. Like not just for pageants, but as Breea. I did improv classes, which I've never done any type of like creative or acting, like completely out of my comfort zone. And I did Toastmasters, which is a public speaking club. And it has honestly been, I rave about both of them so much. Like I've met so many new friends and it has brought out this confidence in me and like this authenticity because now that I'm finally at a place where I'm confident talking in front of people, like I can even wing like a speech, which I would have never been able to do like 2 years ago. But I've been in both of them for about a year and a half now. And I would go once a week to improv, to Toastmasters. And I used to be so scared. Like I would drive, like the very first time I was in my car and I was like, oh, okay, Breea, like you're going to do this? Maybe like, okay, you're going to do this. And then I felt like that for like the first maybe 2 months. And then once I finally started to get my style, my groove, I was like, ooh, this is actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Do you still do it?
I still do it, yes.
No way.
I'm not in an improv class currently, but I actually have Toastmasters tonight. So
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Yes.
Toastmasters is different than improv. Like how is it different? What do you guys do? Is it like debate or
with Toastmasters, there's 2 sections. You have prepared speeches where you could write it beforehand and then you're practicing a public speech. Or there's also we call them table topics, which is impromptu speaking. And that really helped with my interview prep because they would ask questions based on whatever our theme is for the day. And you have a minute to answer it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That sounds hard.
So it definitely, like, I felt like I was pageant prepping at
Yeah.
Toastmasters because I had to do like prepared speeches, but I also had to do like
Yeah.
impromptu speaking.
So who else is a part of these, like part of Toastmasters?
It's mainly older retired people.
Oh, okay. So it's not people who are like you, like trying to better their craft.
It's all ages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have like the uncles and the aunties, but then you also have a lot of younger people. It's
Wow.
like everyone's from different backgrounds, different ages. Everyone's just there to like want to put their best foot forward and be the
Yeah.
best version of themselves. And that's why I like going there because everyone is just like, yes, like so supportive. Everyone's very loving. Like it's a very, what's the word? They're not going to make you feel bad about yourself if you're super nervous or if you're not great at it.
Yeah. I'm so ashamed I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
before
girl,
you
should
started
come
doing.
with
I would
me.
love to go.
You
Oh
would
my
do so well. I
gosh.
keep trying to get Juliet to come. She's like, I'm going to come. I'm like, she never comes.
Oh my gosh. You mean
Calling you
master of
out.
public speaking, Juliet Leiter Cam? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah, she's
Nah.
like, I'm there already. It's fine.
Right? No, she's very humble. She's very humble, but we love her. Okay. I have so many questions because I have never really like unpacked all of the things of USA. And I've actually
Ooh.
not really talked to another pageant person about pageants. You know, like this is full pageant land episode.
Yeah, pageant land.
Yeah. So you may think that this is not going to be interesting as a listener or a watcher because you're like, pageants are dumb or whatever. I promise you, the tea will be spilled
Tea is spicy.
and it's very spicy. Jalapeno tea is about to spill all onto
Love
the
a
ground.
Spicy margarita.
Yeah. That sounds delicious.
That
Wow.
does.
Let's go have one someday.
Someday.
Okay. I want to know favorite thing about pageants, worst thing about pageants.
Favorite thing is that it's truly a journey of self-discovery and I get to be the
Yeah.
best version of Breea. Like I know we always talk about, or I always talk about like the interview prep, like beside Toastmasters and improv and of course working with my own personal coaches for interview prep. There's also the physical side, which is the meal prepping, the
Yeah.
dieting, the 2 hours at the gym every day, having to do 45 minutes of cardio every day. It's having this like discipline, but also having a growth mindset at the same time, which I feel like I'm extremely thankful for because without pageants, I would just be like this lazy bum. I feel like. So that's definitely the best, like what you take from the journey of self-discovery and being the best version of yourself. As far as the worst thing, even though you have so much confidence, it definitely has made me feel really small at the same time because you have this spotlight on you. And I think I experienced it the most at Miss USA. Like people were just like in the comments and I was like, oh, I shouldn't be reading the comments. So it was like people just bring you down and say really nasty things about you. And even after I won Miss Hawaii USA, they're like, she's ugly. She looks like a man. Like, why is she like the other girl's prettier? And it's like, I'm like, I'm just here to do my best.
Yeah. If they
Like,
saw you
why
in
are people
person, they would
mean?
be like, one, they are probably gross to look at, even though they're all beautifully and wonderfully made by the Lord. But yeah, people wouldn't say that to your face. I experienced that a lot. Like Miss America was that low point for me. And it's so amazing on one hand. And you're like experiencing this moment. And I did not prep well. I think that I was just so like taken aback. I wish that I had a coach, you know, but I was just, I was doing the best with what I had, right? Figuring it out. But I got there and I just wasn't prepared the way I wanted to be prepared. And I've met some of the most amazing women there, but I was not at that level, you know, of like where I felt like I was a competitor. And that just rocked my confidence. You know, and the comments are so true. I got a lot of comments about my weight.
That's crazy.
Because like I was always a little bit thicker, I'd say. I used to think that I was fat. And I realized, well, I wasn't fat. I was just like not stick skinny.
Yes.
You know, like in
Not a
Hawaii.
size 0.
Yeah. In Hawaii, like everybody's mostly Asian, which equals no body fat. And for me,
Girl,
like being 0.8% Chinese, I was Miss Chinatown and nobody thought that I was Chinese. Well, which is
Really?
Zhongguoren. Yeah, I am a Zhongguoren. Which is Chinese for I'm Chinese. But yeah, nobody believes it. I'm 0.8% Chinese.
0.8. Period.
But I don't have an Asian body type. I have a lot of body fat. And so going down, doing the meal prep, working out, like I got to a size where I was like happy on stage. And then I would just go right back. I would like go off meal prep and then I would gain 20 pounds again. In like the 18 months of me doing pageants, I lost and gained 20 pounds 3 different times.
Oh, wow. 3 times?
I would gain it right back after the pageant and then I would lose it all for the next pageant.
Oh, wow.
Because it went from Chinatown, prelim, then to Miss Hawaii, and then to Miss America.
Oh, my goodness.
So, and each time I lost a little bit less, right? So I was like slightly bigger each time. And just a lot of people had something to say.
People are mean.
And even now, like I wouldn't look. And I think people would delete it, like the Miss America team. I don't know, because I didn't come across a lot myself. So I'm not sure if I just was looking in the wrong places. But
trying to look for it.
Yeah, I saw a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in a while. And she goes, you know, how they treated you was so unfair. And I was like, wait, what do you mean?
Like, how did they treat me?
Yeah, I was like, she's like, you know, I was like, yeah. She's like, you did not deserve all those negative comments about your weight and all this stuff. And I was like, man, I mean, I saw a few, but you must have seen a lot. So it's just like this reminder that people are so judgmental. But I've come up with this little saying that judgers are not doers.
I love that. That's so true. Judges are not doers. I love to see them be in our position.
No, period.
Trying to take on the world.
Yeah, it's helped me not judge people. That if I've not done that, I'm not saying anything about it. Right? If I've done it, I might have something to say.
Like a little critique here and there. But
all these people's feedback, which is why I think that pageants are a very dangerous, scary place. All love for people who love, you know, on the girls. But there's a lot of people who are involved, I think, that are in it for their own reasons, you know, and are so judgmental. But what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you on the stage? Did you go to national
Did
pageant?
you diet?
Yeah. Have you been eating 10 grams of carbs for 4 months? No. You know, do you have every body hair waxed out of you every 2 weeks?
Wax, laser? Did you have to go through all these painful procedures? No.
Yeah. You had a procedure. Okay, to preface, we have sponsors that you go to like do your things, right? There's med spa, there's eyebrow, there's fashion, there's all these things. You had kind of a nightmare med spa experience.
Yes, I did. And this is such a first world problem.
Yes. Yeah, no, it really is. But when you're like, what, 2 months from Miss USA?
1 month from Miss USA.
You're 1 month, like you're allowed to be a little like, I need to look my best. You know, this is not real life. Your 1 year snippet of Miss Hawaii USA, like you get to be like a perfectionist about the way that you look because that's what you're getting judged on.
Yes.
So 1 month out, you go to the med spa.
Miss USA, I went to a med spa. And I didn't have really bad skin, but I always had problems with acne, but it wasn't distracting from my face. But I went to the med spa. They introduced this acne treatment, which is like a radio frequency microneedling treatment that I could do. And I was like, yes, like let's do it. It's free. Of course I'm going to say.
Right? It was something else.
No. It was called Agnes, which I've never heard of at other med spas before. And I thought, okay, yes, let's do it. And I remember getting the procedure done. It was the most painful experience ever. I felt like the needles were like digging into my skin. Like it was like all over my face.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until the next day when everything scabbed up. It looked like I had chicken pox all over my face. And it was so painful. And I thought, is this normal? Like, right. I feel like this isn't right. And so I went back to the med spa. They're like, oh no, like this is the healing phase. It's fine. Give it like 5 days.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, like I trust you. And then 5 days came and it was just like getting worse and worse. Like I looked like Freddy Krueger.
Which is like a nightmare. Like 1 month from going to compete in national pageant and you're like, what did you do to my face?
Yeah. So by the time like weeks passed by and I thought like I couldn't even go, like I was so self-conscious about my face that I wouldn't go to the gym because I was like, I have all of these spots all over, not even spots, like divots in my face. And I don't know if you could see it now, but like they pretty much took out chunks of my skin and they left scabs. So I had all these scabs all over my face, and I thought, I compete at Miss USA. Like my face is gonna be on television. It's in all the photo shoots. Like it was such a confidence killer, and I've never experienced a lack of confidence because of my look before or my skin. And like when I would enter a room, like you could tell people were like, "Oh my God, what happened to your face?"
Oh, oh my gosh!
I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. And instead of, I got like really sad, kind of depressed for a little bit, but I had to like pop myself back into like this everything happens for a reason mindset. And I thought, you know what, God, I was on my high horse. I see you. You're bringing me down. You're humbling me. It's all part of the process. This had to happen.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it's been a little bit better. I still have all these divots in my skin, but at least with makeup, I can cover it now.
No, and it looks good.
Thank
like
you.
I remember you showed me your skin when it had first happened, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" But also,
like,
why on earth they would do such an invasive treatment a month before your like big show?
Yes.
It blows my mind because I work at a med spa now. I was like, this was not Asia Pacific
med
plastic
spa.
surgery.
It
Yeah.
was not.
Okay.
No, it was not.
It was not. Come see us, Asia Pacific. Dr. Shing can have a raise now. No. But that's a really invasive treatment, and the RF, at least if it's similar to the Morpheus, the whole point is to melt fat cells in your skin. So like you get slimmer and tighter face, but that takes months to see that result. The microneedling is good, like you see a difference in a week or two.
Yeah.
But why they would do the RF? Because that makes it so painful.
See, and I had no idea. Like I should have done my research, and I don't know why I didn't.
No, even trust. That's why. You're just like,
exactly.
okay.
I'm like, they know what they're doing. Like even my sister, when I told her about it, she's like, "Are you sure you should be doing this?" And I was like, "Kiana, don't question it. Like they know what they're doing."
Because they were long time. sponsors.
Long time sponsors.
Yeah. Are they still a sponsor?
I don't know. I'm assuming yes, but
stuff does happen.
Very
like
unfortunate.
I'm not trying to rag on like med spa, whatever they're called, but it's stuff does happen. It's just unfortunate that like their most public like person that they support.
It was like, oh,
had a nightmare.
hey. Yeah.
Now she comes to see us. So
yeah, I do.
Bum.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, she's
Thanks
a
for
shimbo.
having me. I'm a shim girl now.
Yeah. No, you're a shimbo.
Shimbo.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I like that.
No. Okay, so right when I started working there, I hope Dr. Shing doesn't see this. Right when I started working there, the social media girls were trying to like come up with a name for our ambassadors. So like they emailed the whole staff and they said, okay, here's a Google form, like give us your best shot. And I was like, okay, I may not be good at being a receptionist, but I can do this, right? So I put all these, and one of them that I put was Shimbo.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's like bimbo, but like Shim, like Dr. Shim Ching. And everybody thought it was hilarious. And I knew it was like just for fun.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we're going to use that actually. And I was like, that's a terrible idea, right? Like
I'm a shimbo.
That's not going to go well. That's not the point.
Yes.
I think it eventually got vetoed before it really went out. But
yeah, because probably the best idea.
Yeah, people trying to like reclaim the word, like reclaim. I don't know. Like with the I don't want to say it on the microphone, but like when Hillary Clinton was running for president and there was like those pink hats, they called those hats. You're trying to claim back the words, right? Claim back bimbo, and call it a shimbo. But no,
like no.
But internally, you're a bimbo.
I'm a shimbo.
Yeah, you're a shimbo. Oh, I just said you're a bimbo. You're not. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Star.
I'm losing my. You make me. You're so beautiful. You make me nervous. That's why I can't speak.
I'm just like, oh
my gosh,
presence of this queen.
You're stunning. Okay, well, speaking of med spa, plastic surgery, you ran for 4 years, right? And then you had plastic surgery, and then you won. Did anybody ever like be like, oh, that's why?
I don't think so. I've never gotten that feedback before because I feel like people knew. Yeah. Like people knew like when it came to my onstage question, which I killed this year.
You did.
And like my whole aura had changed. And I feel like people could see the confidence in the way I walked on stage, the way I answered my question, and the way I walked out of my personal interview. People were like, Breea's got it. Yeah. So I don't think that was ever like, oh, that's why. Because like people who didn't even know me could see the transformation from like within.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like that's your surgery? Because you got your boobs done.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And they look sickening. They look stunning. You're fabulous. I think they fit so well.
Thank you.
And I feel like people don't really talk about it, like,
Yeah, it's definitely like a hush hush type of thing.
yeah. But you were okay to kind of talk about it.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
But how did you get to that point? Is it something that you had wanted to do? And how did you get to a point where you're like ready to have surgery?
I've always wanted to have, it's so weird to say that, to have my boobs done.
Yeah.
But I wasn't blessed like my sister and my mom. I got the height. I didn't get any of the curves with it. I just was tall. So I've wanted it forever. And I remember there was 3 rules in my household growing up from my dad. He's like, no tattoos, don't get pregnant, no boob jobs.
Wow.
Yes.
So you moved out. And
So I moved out.
Yeah.
Well, I've been out of my parents' house since high school, so for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
But when I was thinking about preparing this year, like when I talk about like leaving, like doing all the things, I was like, you know what? I know I'm going to be the most fit version of me this year. I want to do this because I know like it's going to make me feel very confident. And within a month, like everything was booked and I did it. And I honestly am so happy that I did it. And like they're a lot of fun. And I love it. They just make everything look really nice.
Oh, how much fun, girl. No,
Not like that.
no, not like that. No, they look incredible.
Thank you. And I definitely, because I never have actually like publicly said that I've had surgery before, but if people ask me, like especially little girls, like I'm not gonna lie and say, oh no, like everything's natural. It's like, no, like I don't want to pretend and put on this facade.
Yeah.
So
do you think that ever, because you're definitely an example. You do a lot of great community work, and I've seen you on social media more than I really have seen a lot of other people, in schools, and you're at like construction sites, and you're doing all the things, and it's so great. And you're obviously an example to young girls. Like,
oh, thank you.
Did you ever worry about the people who say plastic surgery is, for insecure people?
I never really thought of that because I had my mindset on getting them done for forever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I honestly, like, I was just so set and I wasn't insecure I was never insecure without them, but I always thought, okay, I can enhance the way I feel.
It's like an accessory.
Yeah, it's like a fun little accessory.
Yeah.
And so I actually never really thought about that too much.
Yeah, because I had a lot of people, I forever and ever have wanted to suck out some fat from my flanks and put it in my butt. Okay, not like full BBL.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Not like a full BBL, but I've always wanted like a little
like.
Yeah, because I have crazy hip dips, and like that's something that since I was 14, like I always wanted to fill them.
Yeah,
and I would talk about it, and people would shame me and say like, you don't need that. Like that's so plastic. That's so this. So that's like a rhetoric I heard so much that I was embarrassed to say that that's something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But now I work at a plastic surgeon's office, and
like everyone does it.
Everyone does it, but it's such an amazing place because there's no shame. We have a staff of all women, except for one OR nurse and Dr. Ching, and now our new doctor. But everybody's just like an encourager.
Yeah.
If you want to do it. But they definitely make sure that you're in the right headspace. Like people think that you walk into a plastic surgeon's office and they just butcher you up. Like you take all kinds of people. But, our consultants, and I'm sure you felt the same way, like our surgical consultants, they really consider if you are mentally sound mindset, enough and that you want this. Like if there are red flags, they'll bring it up and they'll say no, despite if it's going to bring in a lot of money.
They should, yes.
Yeah. So that's what makes me really proud to work at a place there. It's not just about, changing people on the outside or like helping people hide from their problems.
Yeah,
It's like, how can we facilitate and help people reflect who they are on the inside? And I think that's a really beautiful thing, and something that pageants also does.
Yes.
Like, how do you hone the way that you speak, the way that you talk, the way that you discuss things? How does that show what you really feel on the inside?
Yeah, a lot of training.
A lot.
With in addition to doing Toastmasters and improv, I trained with PR pageant coaches, and they're located in Florida. And I worked with Jules and the interview coach, Carlos. And I was meeting with them 3 times a week, like
Oh,
on
wow.
Zoom. I also went in person. I flew to Florida twice. But with them, I feel like PR pageant coaches was like a godsend because their mantras they teach by inspiration and not intimidation. And I feel like this was truly the first year that I felt like I was being, not that I wasn't being uplifted before, but this was truly the first year that I was getting so much love and so much not necessarily validation, but like just pouring so much positivity into me that I was like, okay, I am enough and I can do this. And I think they definitely helped bring out that confidence like within myself.
Do you know a lot of girls that were working with coaches or people who were definitely using intimidation as tactics?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm very lucky that I have not only PR pageant coaches, but I have my local team here, which is Juliet, my trainer Lana, and of course my sister. My sister's like my manager. Like she does everything for me. And I'm so lucky that they like just poured so much love and like they would always remind me that I was enough and that I don't have to be anyone else but myself. Like I am perfect the way I am, perfectly imperfect, and I always just had to like leave it to God. And I feel like you hear so many horror stories of coaches that are like, what was that? Like that is so bad. You look so bad. I'm like, why would you try to coach someone by putting them down? Like that doesn't make sense. And I feel like with sports, because I grew up an athlete and my trainer always likes to say like, I'm not a pageant girl, I'm just an athlete who does pageants. And I feel like that's kind of the way people coach is like, oh, you suck, like you need to be better. But I'm like, that didn't work for me. So I'm glad I finally found a space that I was like, oh no, I like tell me that I am fun. Tell me that I'm worth it. Don't be like, oh, you suck, like you need to improve on this. So very thankful for all of them.
I mean, there are so many women that we've both encountered that are broken down
Yeah.
just to try to win. And
It's not worth it.
it's not worth it. Because maybe they do win, but then this is like trauma that you carry with you for years. You know, say you just like, you tap out.
Yes.
You do all of this. You're so broken down. You're so insecure. You walk away. A lot of people don't ever deal with that. And then we see pageant winners or past pageant people who, you know, commit suicide or they develop really horrific eating disorders. And you hear, all, like you said, horror stories. It looks perfect on the outside, but the inside is so broken.
Yes.
And a lot of people blame pageants for that. But what would you say to people who like have these questions that only think pageants are degrading? You know, because you're getting on a stage voluntarily asking strangers to judge you for like little pieces of the pie. They don't know you.
Yeah.
You know, it's up to you to try to show your best version. But at the same time, it's performative. So like, how do you tell people who are real pageant haters? Because it's something that have benefited both of our lives in a really massive way.
Definitely. I always like to share my story. And I always tell them it took me 5 times to win Miss Hawaii USA, but I talk about how I had the courage to finally face my fears. I had the willingness to want to learn. I had a growth mindset. And even though what you see is only like a small piece of the pie, I've gained so much from this experience. And I'm in a place where I'm so comfortable and confident being Breea that no one can tear me down anymore. And yes, we are being judged for how we look, how we talk, how we speak, like about like everything that we are. But I feel like true pageant winners, like they know themselves through and through.
Yeah.
And it shows because even if someone doesn't like you, it's like, that's okay, that's fine. I love myself and I'm enough. And that's what I always try to tell people about pageants. I'm like, it's so much about the journey and you learn to just be disciplined and be the best version of yourself. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine. But it's got to me so far in life and I'm still grateful for it.
You're so incredible.
Oh,
I really agree that it is like the authenticity is the game changer. And there isn't just one winner each year.
yes.
I think some years there can be 5, some years there can be none, even though someone gets crowned. You know, when I ran for the first time, I was really in awe of Haley Cheney Kane.
Yes.
She was my not my
current
first
Miss
friend.
Hawaii.
Yeah, she's our current Miss Hawaii. She's about to go to Miss America in like 3 weeks.
Yes.
I'm
Wow.
so excited for
That was
her.
so fast.
She's gonna kill it. But I met her and she was just, and there were a few other girls that were just as amazing. But she had it. She was gorgeous. She had amazing talent. She was authentic. She was true to herself. And I was in awe of her. And that year when I won, I felt like there were two of us. You know, she was my first runner-up.
That's so sweet.
But I was just like, I went home thinking, how the heck did I beat her?
No, stop.
No, and that's not to degrade myself. You know, like I worked hard, and I also don't think it's a matter of how hard you work, though. I think, like I said, sometimes there's 5 girls that could be Miss Hawaii. It's just about who it's gonna be.
Yes.
You know, I don't think it's on anybody's effort because we all work so hard, and I really believed that any one of us could have been Miss Hawaii, won that night,
absolutely,
and could have done an amazing job. The rest is up to God. It's all chance.
It really is.
Because there's so many things. Like the first time you experience somebody, you see something that not everybody sees, right? You're like, oh, this. Like you never know what they're gonna clock. Yeah. These judges.
That's so true.
Especially because half of them are not from Hawaii.
I know.
So
I hate that.
Yeah, you're just like, okay. So I really had no clue. But it's been a treat to see her come back the next year and just absolutely like knock it out of the park, you know. Her talent, I've not seen a talent that's really.
What was her talent?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna pull up the video after this and show you. She sang and danced hula at the same time.
Oh wow.
Last year she danced hula and it was stunning. She's an amazing dancer.
Oh, wow.
This year, so in her undergrad she studied like vocal
oh wow,
voice.
Really?
Like yeah, she's like a music major.
And she's a pre-med too.
Yeah, and pre-med.
She does it all.
She does it all. These women are like incredible. I was
we
like,
love her.
You guys know I haven't really done anything like really cool, right? Like I'm just very regular. I'm like a porigi and
very
that's
not
it.
Regular.
When I won, I used to be like, haha, I'm a porigi, tricked them.
Like, hey guys.
I tricked them in.
Stop.
No, but she danced hula and sang, and she has such an amazing voice. Because you know, not everybody. This is not like our year, but not everybody who goes up on stage to sing can sing.
That's true.
So, it was just because it's song choice, it's everything, and she danced hula and she sang. And my job when I saw it in rehearsal, I was like I just never seen that. And
wow.
She was the first gay Miss Hawaii, like out, like openly gay. She's all these things that she represents so many different communities, and
she does.
I think she's really incredible. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going. I could just talk about Haley forever and ever and ever.
I'm so glad that we've been able to do a lot of events together.
Have you really?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Because you know how before you used to be like, oh, don't
you cannot
have a crossover. But I feel like me and Haley have been very lucky that we've done a fashion show together. We've done several fashion shows together, and
she's killing it.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Oh my gosh, runway! You guys are goddesses. I'm honestly like, this is like the one cool thing that I did. I get to like group myself with you guys, but you are like the
all
real
in the same group.
Oh my gosh, no, you guys are legit. Like my friends are so cool, you guys. Like, and they have to accept me because I won one time.
Oh my gosh. Stop.
Nah. I'm just playing. Okay, I want to talk about drama Lanis.
Okay.
I'm not going to put you in a position where you're like, I don't want to answer.
Get me in trouble, Star.
I know, I'm not going to get you in trouble. And at any time you say, let's move forward. Okay.
Safe word.
Yeah, safe word. Yeah, let's choose a safe word.
Orchid.
Orchid.
Because of your earrings.
Okay. Slay. I love it.
I think my sister has those.
Oh my gosh.
What is it? Made by May?
No. Yeah, Made by May?
Starts with an M.
I should
I'm
know.
Too sure.
I should know. I've had like a combination of 3 hours of sleep this year. This year.
Of course.
Yeah, that sounds right. This week. So I'm a little bit aloof. So forgive me. Okay, but dramas. Your year, there was a lot of drama. And I'm, brand new to pageant land, right? So like I was just getting acquainted when you won. Like I was just giving up my title. But in USA land, just to set the scene for people who are not aware, a woman named Noelia won Miss USA in 2023.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then she was great. She went on to compete at Miss Universe. And then shortly after that, she resigned. Her Miss USA's teen, or Miss Teen USA.
Teen USA.
Okay, thank you. And their social media manager, somebody from the staff.
Yes.
All resigned from Miss USA. And the title holders didn't say anything because they had, I assume, NDAs. They couldn't speak out. But it had eventually come out. that they had felt like they'd experienced real abuse and toxic work environments from the organization, Miss USA organization. And, you know, they're looking for new title holders, and so they go to first runner-up, second runner-up, and some people declined and other, like, to stand in solidarity, and other people didn't have an issue stepping into the role to fulfill what their technical duty was, right? You are entering Miss Hawaii USA on kind of like the back end of all of this happening. Like, this had just all started.
I competed at Miss Hawaii USA before all of that happened.
Okay.
So it was right before Miss USA when all of that happened.
Right. Okay. Because you'd been Miss Hawaii USA like 3 months, 2 months?
Maybe for, a couple of months.
Okay.
And then we hear Miss USA resigns. I'm like, what? Like, what's going to happen? What?
How did you feel when you saw she resigned? What were the questions you had?
The minute I saw that, I was just in shock because it's never happened before. There's never been a Miss USA or a Miss Teen USA who's ever resigned.
Yeah, let alone at the same time.
At the same time, yes. And when I saw that, I was like, what? Like, I honestly didn't know what to think. Like, part of me felt heartbroken because I thought, like, my dream is to be Miss USA and go on to Miss Universe. And to know that someone didn't want it, I didn't know if I was, like, mad or angry or upset. Like, why don't they want it? Or, like, what happened? Like, how did we get here? So I just had a bunch of mixed emotions thinking, like, oh, my God, like, what's going to happen? Like, are we going to have a Miss USA? Like, what?
Is it canceled?
Yeah. I was just very conflicted.
And then we start kind of hearing murmurs. Because I think to this day, Noelia and the teen, I don't remember her name.
Uma Sophia.
Okay, Uma
She's
Sophia.
the cutest little thing.
She's so cute. I don't think they've said anything to this day.
No.
Because they can't by contract.
Yes.
Do you believe what they say, that it was toxic and that they resigned because they could no longer stand the abuse that they were experiencing? Like, what do you think about that?
I definitely would believe them because I wouldn't want to go against what a woman has to say. Like, I feel like a lot of women talk about abuse that they face and people don't believe them. So I feel like I definitely would be on their side and say, no, I hear you, I believe you.
Yeah. And let me preface with this. Sorry, I should have said this earlier. This is so not a, do you believe them? Is it her, or, you know.
Who's to blame?
Because the truth is, we will never know.
Yes.
Unless, you know, and as Oprah says, unless you were under the bed, you have no idea what happened. Okay?
Yes.
So, like, we will really never know.
Yeah.
But being somebody who's experienced pageants for so many years, and me even just for like 1 or 2 years, like, you pick up the context clues and you make what I'd say is more of an informed guess, right? An educated guess on what you think happened. And it's never the truth.
Yes.
Because we don't know the truth. But I'm curious, like, with all of your experience and all of the things that have come out in context and what you've known being close to the org, what you really think happened.
Yeah, I feel like being Miss Hawaii USA, running for pageants, there's so many pros, but there's also, like, you have to give and take. There's also the cons. And I've definitely been in uncomfortable situations before, but it's never been bad where I couldn't handle myself in the situation. And I feel like being on an even bigger platform as Miss USA, like being at the Miss Universe stage, like, they're subjected to even more attention. And I'm sure they get way more interactions than I ever will. And it's just way more stressful and way more anxiety inducing. So I don't know exactly what they went through, but I would want to believe them. And if they, like, really needed to take care of their mental health, like, if I didn't feel like I was fit for the job, I would resign too. But, like, this was my dream. And I know it was also Noelia's dream. So it must have been, like, really bad for her to resign. And I feel like my heart goes out to her and to the organization because it's like, we'll never know what happened. And we just all have to, like, remember that Miss USA is about, like, empowering women. And I always want to believe that it is because it's done so much for me that it's unfortunate that that happened. But it's like, okay, well, what can we do to make sure that beauty pageants don't get a bad rap and that we continue to, like, uplift each other and not talk down on each other and make sure, like, something like that never happens again.
Yeah. because I'm quick to share my experience. I'm quick to say things about what I think, right? But in that same vein of like not making people afraid of pageants, I feel like it's the same with church. Like a lot of people say, the church hurt me. The church hurt me. And to that, I'll say, no, people hurt you.
People, yes.
And that's real life, right?
Yes.
Like nobody in church is perfect. Nobody out in the world is perfect. Even if they say all these things, some people are bigots, some people are hypocrites. Like, you know, none of us are perfect and some people are worse. Some people are really not
We're
perfect.
really bad.
Yeah, you know, but pageants have given me such an amazing journey. And not just because it ended me here, but I feel like I met the best version of myself.
Yes.
Like I was never as in shape, as in this pocket, because you're forced to consider, okay, I'm going to get on a stage and the stage light is going to shine through all of my bullshit.
Yes.
You know, for a lack of better
true.
words. You know, you're going to tell if I'm telling the truth or not. People can just tell. So you have to think, okay, if I'm going to answer everything authentically and honestly, I need to know what I think my purpose is.
Yes.
How I want to use this platform to enact my purpose, what kind of impact I want to have on my community, how I'm going to have that impact. You know, you become conscious of things that I think the average person doesn't consider until maybe they're much older.
Yes, definitely.
Which puts us ahead of the game, I think. That's why you see all of these pageant girls who didn't even maybe become title holders. They own businesses.
Yeah.
They do huge work in nonprofit spheres. They're huge corporate giants. You know, in Miss America, they had us look around and go, these are like the future leaders
Yes.
of tomorrow. And only one of you will be Miss America, but all of you are going to be somebody who impacts your community and does real stuff.
That's so true.
And it is, you know, and so that's what I would try to get people to leave with. Like, I want that to be the taste in people's mouths from pageants.
Yes.
Which I think is also fair to say that it might not be the taste you leave the stage with.
Yeah.
You know, because it's such a high emotion experience.
It really is.
But I hope after some reflection, it is how people really see pageant land. And again, judges are not doers. You know, this is for people who are like thinking about pageants. They've done the pageants. Like they want to find best versions of themselves. Anyway, that was like such a long tangent of pageant land.
I love pageant land. I feel like it's such a high and it's so worth it. Like when I think about Miss USA and I talk about how my sister has been like my manager, like my sister did everything that she possibly could to make sure that I had the best experience at Miss USA and as Miss Hawaii USA, because when she won Miss Hawaii USA 2 years ago, she had not the best experience at Miss USA. And she went into it like a deer in headlights. Like we all had no idea what to expect. And so because she had that experience, we took everything that she learned her year and wanted to implement it in my year so that I could just like slay and I wouldn't have to worry or feel overwhelmed. And when I think about preparing for Miss USA, like a lot of people don't know, yes, you have the interview prep and the dieting and the exercise, but it's such a mental game when you do pageants.
Yes.
And like you have to be in your best mindset when you perform.
Totally.
And when it came to going to Miss USA, like when I say my sister did everything, like my whole team, like Juliet, Alana, Jules, Carlos from PR, they made sure that everything was done for me so that all I had to worry about was like competing. So like when it came to my outfits, I had all my team pick out my outfits. Like I didn't even really pick out my own outfits.
And you looked fabulous.
Thank you. Gosh. And I'm so grateful for them. And my sister took over my social media when I was at Miss USA. So all of the posts was for my sister. Like all I had to do was take photos, put them in a shared album. And my sister even labeled all of my outfits. Like we had accessories and outfits and shoes all in a Ziploc bag. So I knew like what to wear for each day.
Oh my gosh.
And it really takes like a whole village to like make a winner, because like all I had to do was like make sure I was okay, don't distract myself. Like before I would even go on stage, like I wouldn't watch, there's a TV backstage that you could see what's going on. I didn't want to even look at it. I was just like in such a mode. Like I was in like game time fight mode. Like we're going to put on a show. We're going to slay. We're going to kill it. And I'm so grateful because that was possible because of my incredible team. And I honestly would not be here today without all of them and my sister, and I just love them all so much. So thank you. Shout out to you guys.
Shout out to you guys, for real.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about doing a pageant, get a team, girl.
Get a team.
From someone who had one and someone who did not. Get a team. But the social media aspect is so crazy because I don't know if it was like this at USA for you. We got an entire
sponsors
12-page list per day. Not per day, but 12 total, right? And it was like all of the tags we had to hit, all of the posts they wanted to do. Because it's a real business. Like,
it is a business.
They give us all this stuff and they expect for us to post, but you're about to compete in like the craziest thing of your life.
Yes.
And then you
have to worry about posting.
Yeah, and you're worried about perfection. Like you're like, I thought that was so hard and I did not meet all of the criteria, right? You're just like, does this really matter that we're posting? It did, but I definitely didn't do it. So the fact that Kiana did that for you is slay.
Because that's what, when she was at Miss USA, had the long list of posts. She was trying to post and she wasn't posting. I'm like, Kiana, you're going to get in trouble. And then I finally kind of helped her like the second half of Miss USA because she was like, here, just I'll give you my passwords. And so when we went to Miss USA this year, Kiana's like, I have all access. Like, give me all the tags, give me all the photos. I'll do everything. So thank you, sister. Best sister ever.
Iconic. She really is the best sister ever.
She is.
Oh my gosh. So we talked a little bit, I don't know if we were rolling yet. We were talking before about, Kiana paved the way for you. You felt like, she came in and she really was busting down the walls. Like she had a much tougher experience as Miss Hawaii USA. Which, as somebody who's a first timer, because it was her first time, I can kind of maybe not speak for her, but everything is new. You're just like trying to survive at that point, so I can understand her having a harder time. Have you ever felt like, I don't want to say there's guilt, but do you feel like, how has that been learning the lessons because Kiana like walked through it?
Yeah, I feel like maybe not guilty.
I know that was a terrible thing to say. It.
I feel sad, and I feel like we actually had this conversation recently. Like me and Kiana were just like laying in bed, talking about my experience, and I just started crying because my older sister, our whole life, has done everything and had to jump all the hurdles, knock them down, so that I could just run past freely, just enjoying my little life. Like, thanks, sis. Like my sister's done so much for me. Like my sister is a civil engineer by trade. She has paid for a majority of all of my pageant expenses. And I'm very lucky that I have her because she knows what it takes to compete at that level. And it breaks my heart knowing like I couldn't do that for her. And sorry, Ken, I don't make as much as you. I'm so broke. but like emotionally I was there for her. Yeah. Which it's hard because Kiana deserved all the experience and even more than what I've been getting. And I wish she had that same experience because she would have definitely had like a better taste in her mouth about leaving Miss USA.
No, but knowing Kiana, she's like overjoyed and happy to do all that. I'm sure she told you to her face. Like there's no way.
Loves it. I think she loves it.
I know. I shouldn't have said guilt. I was like, that made it so
it's kind of, it's like this, like a survivor's guilt. It's just like, why do I get the benefit? And why did she have to go through all of that?
Yeah. Yeah. But like you said, it's a village.
It is a village.
And as somebody, I'm not a part of your village. Like I'm just adjacent.
Yes, you are part of my village.
I'm just like adjacent. But
I love you.
It's like when somebody you love is succeeding and winning, and not like winning the pageant. I mean, like you're winning at life. You're going after what you want and you're accomplishing and you're moving forward. Yes. It's just a joy. It's a joy to be around. And something pageants showed me is, okay, you want to be better, like surround yourself with people who are doing the things. You're definitely, you and Kiana and Juliet, you're all examples of that for me. And I feel like I'm like built a little girl gang of like, these women go after it. Like, okay, you have 3 jobs. Okay. And you work 9 to 5 and okay. And oh, you want to eat the Skittles, but you want to compete in this and have abs. Okay. And like, you guys are just
no excuses.
There's no excuses. And you're badasses. That's all I have to say.
Oh, thank you.
Each of you. You guys are like, I'm so impressed by you guys. I'm like honored to know you. I'm honored to be exposed.
Honored to know you.
Marry. Receive. No.
I'm receiving.
Receive it. Yeah, and can I tell you a secret?
Oh yeah.
Between you and me.
Chisme.
When I was younger, My mom was Juliet's makeup artist.
Yes,
and she ran,
that's
right?
right. Okay.
So I like grew up a lot around pageant stuff, kind of, and models because she was a makeup artist.
Right.
And mom would say like, "Oh, you could be Miss Hawaii," or like her friends would be like, "Oh, you should run for Miss Hawaii, so you're so beautiful." Here I'm like this chubby kid, like, "Yeah,
Like,
right.
yeah, guys.
Where's the snacks?" No. But I always thought in my head like, no, there's no way I could ever do that. Like,
Look at
there's
you now.
absolutely no way. And then to meet a version of myself that was ready to try, like, I give all credit to the people who have encouraged me, like, who were around me and encouraged me, but also women who broke down this barrier of perfection, which I think you have done, Kiana has done, Juliet has done, and I have a long list of other women that do this and are real people at the same time and show that they're imperfect, you know?
Aww.
So just, I want to honor you and say that you're
so
breaking down
sweet.
barriers for young women who think that this is about perfection.
It's definitely not.
Yeah.
You have to be authentic. You have to be genuine. People don't want a perfect wrapped up gift. They want real and raw, and they want the cracks.
And it wasn't always like that though.
That's true.
Like, I feel like pageants when we were growing up was all about perfection, and you don't say what you really think, and you don't leave the house without concealer. You don't leave without,
oh my goodness,
like the 4 points of the outfit, you know, like where you calculate what your outfit, like the
jewelry,
points.
Hair, makeup.
Yeah, jewelry's 2 points, earring is 1 point, like, you know, and you have to have like a 14-point look.
Yes.
Like, that was just what I thought this was. But then in this era of like authenticity, especially social media, I think there's like such a desire for vulnerability. But I just like that that's where we're at.
Yes. It's raw.
It's raw. Yeah. Are there parts of that feel too intimate for you?
No, I like it. I think especially with my journey of finally accepting myself and knowing my worth, I like being real and raw and talking about all these things because it's like, yeah, that's what made my journey so rewarding is that I get to do this and I get to talk about this. So I love it.
Okay.
I love everything Miss Hawaii USA.
Slay. She has a super cute water bottle that says like Breea Yamat, Miss Hawaii USA. And I'm like, I need that.
It was a gift. Thanks to Lana and Kiana and Juliet.
Amen. Okay, so pageant land, right?
Yes.
Badass, killing it, la 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 la.
Yay.
And then you go into like, but you're still a medical assistant. And not still,
work.
but like you have, then there's real life.
Yes.
I want to know how doing these huge, amazing, achieving things have influenced everyday life for you.
I think there's a really nice balance. So when I go to work, a lot of my patients don't know that I Miss Hawaii USA. And my office is very traditional Asian. And it's very like, we're here to do our work. And I don't wear any makeup. I have my hair tied in a bun. I have a mask on. Like, I don't look cute at all. Just super
I'm sure you look
hash.
fabulous.
No, super hash. And like, we don't advertise that I Miss Hawaii USA because then it's like too much of a noise. And so I feel like when I'm at work, it's definitely humbling to be like, okay, like let's just mute Breea a little bit. But then when I get to have fun and like get into my alter ego of like Miss Hawaii USA outside of work, then that's fun too. But I've been very grateful that because I Miss Hawaii USA, I've been able to like find other creative outlets like modeling and being a guest TV host on Living 808. So it's like, oh, I get to do the healthcare, but then I also get to do all these fun things too.
That's iconic. Your lifestyle TV host stuff, like that's something, are you interested in that at all?
See, people are like, okay, Breea, like you should have your own show. I'm like, oh, okay, I definitely can't have my own show. Like I'm not a star. I
That's
can't
what I
have my
used to
own
say.
show.
No, and look it, here we are.
It's definitely fun, but I do realize like when I'm at work, I leave work every day loving my job and it's so rewarding. Like I could never leave healthcare. Like I would definitely love to do both and continue to do both because it's so much fun to be on TV or to
You could have a doctor show.
I could have a doctor show. Well, I have to get my degree first.
Oh, easy peasy. Are you kidding me? You're
first.
Miss Hawaii USA. You went to Miss USA. Like you could do that. Like
get me
that.
into Jabsum.
Jabsum. Excuse me. My name is Stardal Thurston, and I would like to formally inquire that Breea Yamat become a student of Jabsum University at UH Manoa. Please and thank you.
Thank you.
You're in. That was it.
That's it. Sign me up.
Yeah, perfect.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I get to do a little bit of everything. The only thing I don't like when I'm at work and a patient does, like they'll watch Living 808, for example, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're Miss Hawaii USA, or they'll see reruns of it on TV. A lot of my patients are like, I can't believe it.
You're like,
I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, that doesn't look like you. And I'm like, I'm just like a little offended because I'm like, I get it. Like I'm at work. Like I'm not full glam when I'm at work. Okay. I'm not being like alter ego Breea Yamat, Miss Hawaii USA at work. I'm like, I'm there for you. Like, of course I'm not going to be like, okay guys, like I'm that girl. Like,
no, that's the worst. I've gotten a lot of no way, really?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Just
okay, look. Okay.
You're like, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not real life. Okay.
Yes.
Man, I feel like my biggest thing coming out of Miss Hawaii, and I feel like I'm saying so many things. I want to hear about you, but
no,
I can't
love
help
it.
but share. Like we haven't had this conversation really yet. Post Miss USA, I came out of it actually not trusting people. Like it was kind of traumatic for me.
Okay.
Because I just felt like all of a sudden, one, everybody has an idea of who Miss Hawaii is. You know, whether it's good or bad. I was not star anymore. I was like Miss Hawaii first, and it changes how people look at you. And then that also in turn changes what people want from you or what they expect from you. So I found myself not really believing what people would say to me. And I had people that would say stuff and they didn't, and they would say something else behind my back. And so there was like all of this conflict.
Aww.
And I left and was like, oh my gosh, I believe nobody. Right. And so my circle got really, really small of people that I really talked to or that I trusted. And it ended up being a good thing. Like once I kind of chilled out, like it was good because I learned like greater discernment.
Yes.
I think when you become in the public, because I went from like literally doing nothing to like now I'm on a stage. There was a lot of people who were like, who is this person? Yeah, like what the heck? How, where did she come from? And I'm like, Kapahulu. Yeah.
I don't know why I always thought you're from Kaneohe.
Whole 4-4. I'll take it. Boom. I'll take it. One kanak over here.
Yeah, like you're giving 4-4 energy.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Catch me at Journeys. No.
Stop.
Regal Cinema. That's I'm a consolidated girly myself.
I don't watch movies too often, so Netflix.
Okay, that's fair. You know, but you've gone to Consolidated. You know how they have the hula.
Yes.
My sister's mom, she's like another mother to me. She's in that montage.
Oh wow,
isn't that cool?
That's iconic.
I know, no royalties though, which is whack.
No, darn.
But anyway, I'm a Consolidated girl. Okay, all that to say, I learned like just greater discernment, like coming out of it, because I feel like you get exposed to so many people.
I've made so many networking connections.
Yeah, but you can tell me if you think about this too. I feel like I can clock someone's BS a lot quicker now.
Oh, 100%. Yes, it's so easy to read people because you're exposed to so many. It's like, do you like me or do you like me because I miss Hawaii USA? Do you want to hang out with me because you're gonna be in the spotlight or? Yeah,
clout chasers.
Yes.
Do you feel like you've like encountered a lot of those?
I've encountered a lot, but I have a really solid group of friends, and I'm also thankful how understanding my close friends are, because when I'm preparing for the pageant, like I was off the grid for like a year and a half. Like I didn't go out. Like when you're dieting, I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not going out to eat with everyone. Like I'm so isolated. But my friends like always knew like this was my dream, and they never would judge me. They're like, okay, like you're always invited, but they know like, oh no, I'm gonna stay home. Like if I can't eat anything, I'm gonna go to bed at 8 p.m. So I'm like, so I'm very grateful that I have a really solid group of friends.
Okay, on top of that, dating boys.
Oh. Ha.
Yes.
I'm just gonna laugh at that.
Okay, because people, I'm sure, assume like, okay, you're the hottest girl in town, you're Miss Hawaii, you know.
LOL.
No, that's like real life, right? Do men approach you ever?
Not sometimes, not really. Like not as much as people think they do. Like I get random DMs, but it's not like serious.
Not like any reputable people in your DMs.
No.
Just like
Definitely
randoms.
not.
I feel like, yeah, everyone thinks that everyone's going to hit on you like crazy.
No.
And then they don't.
Mm-mm.
It's like, oh my gosh, she must have so many men chasing after her.
Yeah, that's what people say. I'm like, where?
No. Yeah.
Where's the men?
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I was given flowers. No.
What? Stop.
No. Just kidding.
I'll give you flowers.
I'll give you flowers. No, but I think it's interesting to like talk about dating because I was exposed to this whole like realm of men. There's like a category of men in Hawaii who pride themselves on dating Miss Hawaiis. Like you meet people and they say, oh, you're Miss Hawaii. Like, oh, I dated a few.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's almost like this punch card. I don't know. I'm like, okay, I am not a number on your punch card. Like, what are you trying to do here?
Yes, I'm dead.
Have you met ever?
Oh, yes. My trainer's like, don't talk to this person. Stay away from this one. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, what are they called? Like people who...
My
like,
sister calls them crown chasers.
Kiana, you're iconic. Oh my God, that's so good.
They're just crown chasers.
Crown chasers, yeah. I've met quite a few of those.
I've met quite a few too.
And they're not really the marrying ones.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I don't meet any marrying material.
I know, right?
Men.
What's going on? So are you open to dating?
So it's funny. I feel like I'm in a weird space because when I'm prepping, I had absolutely no time for dating. Like I'm so good at being independent and being single, and I love being alone. And I've been single for like 2 years now, and I love it. And now that Miss USA is finally over, I'm navigating this new space of like, okay, maybe I have the freedom to actually date. Like now I could actually go to dinner. Now I could actually have a drink. Now I could just entertain the idea of like dating. And so it's weird because I'm like, oh, I have to give attention to someone else. Like I'm so used to being selfish with my time that I'm like, oh, I have to think about someone else now.
Right, like a priority shift.
Yeah. So it's still very new to me. And it's still, I feel like a little uncomfortable. I'm just like, do I want to like put myself out there? Yeah.
I feel like you and I are similar in the way that we're hyper independent.
Yes.
And so a part of that is you don't give come talk to me and come hit on me vibes.
Oh yeah, no.
So like you just people won't approach or
yeah,
but like you're not against it, but you're not like
I'm not like trying to seek like
come
hey,
talk to me.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
And you're like, how do I'm still trying to be me and like I'm independent, but how do I become more open?
Yeah.
I guess.
Like people are always telling me, like, especially my guy friends, they're like, you are too intimidating. And it's like, well, that's not my fault.
Is that a cop-out? I feel like that's so, like, they talk about masculine energy, feminine energy, you know? And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm supposed to be feminine.
Yeah, it's like, I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl. But I'm not. But I'm not. No, I am a girl. I am biologically, emotionally, physically, I'm a girl. But I don't know. I'm just not. I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do it either, girl.
Okay, but you're very feminine. You're not
Yes.
intimidating. I think you're very independent. You're very approachable.
Mm-hmm.
I would approach you. If I was like a single man, I'd be like, wow, she's going after her life. She's accomplishing. I want to take her on a date. But men don't think like that.
Yeah. Nope. It's just like, yeah. I mean, I've been on a few dates and
oh my gosh.
It's fine.
Tell me about one. Were any of them good?
No, I mean, they're not bad.
Okay.
It's just, I don't like dating. I don't want to have to think about someone else's feelings. That's so bad to say.
Dead. No, but it's
just so much effort.
Yeah.
I'm so used to like the hyper independence. I'm like, I'm good just being me.
Yeah. I love that. I'm like, I don't know.
You're a star.
No.
Is she ready, single and ready to mingle?
I'm certainly mingling, I
think.
Good.
You should.
But, because my whole Miss Hawaii year, I was in a relationship.
Oh, that's right.
And I'd only ever been in relationships really my whole life. Like and I feel like
okay.
adult dating is not that way.
Yeah.
I always was like, oh, we went on one date. I'm in love with you and you're my boyfriend and I'm going to marry you. Like, I don't know how to
get married tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know how to like casually date. And I'm learning as I mature that those are actually all red flags. Like the green flags are like the steady things. Men that don't like profess their love.
Do you love bomb? Love bombing is a red flag.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I didn't know that. You hear about love bombing, like red flag. And I just honestly was like, oh, like they love me. Like, that makes sense.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, and I was
Understandable.
I think because it mimicked how I felt, because I was so anxious for that as well.
Yeah.
That I was like, well, I have really intense feelings for them too. Maybe this is just the real deal.
Yes.
And then it would be the real deal again. And then it was the real deal for the next one too. And I was like, Star, I
You
think,
just have a really big heart. And we love that.
my gosh, my heart has been hoey. Look, my body is
We
not
love
hoey, but my heart is hoeing it up. And she needs to chill out.
We love it.
She needs boundaries. But I'm better now. I feel like I'm learning how to just go out on a date.
Good.
You know?
And not fall in love.
Yeah, and actually like be honest with myself. Because then I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Yes. See, that's something I've learned, because I feel like before I would entertain someone because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. But I've been really good this year about shutting people down.
Yeah.
But like in a very respectable way. It's like, if I don't like you, if you're giving me creepy vibes, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't want to entertain this. I hope you respect that. And it's been really good for me.
Yes.
Because I used to always have to like spare other people's feelings. I'm like, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Because you don't want to seem like a witch, you know? Because I feel like people already assume you're so beautiful. They're like, oh, she's such a you-know-what. Like, she, you know, and that's just not fair.
I feel like I've had so many people tell me, oh, you're actually really nice.
Okay, it's the actually
Like,
for me.
What do you mean? What do you
because
mean?
I get that all the time. Like, oh, you're actually smart. Oh, you're actually
you're
funny.
actually-
And I'm like, okay, tell me you thought
Rude.
something about me without telling me you thought something about me.
Yeah, no, for real.
My favorite line is to tell people, like, they'll laugh at my joke or something and be like, that was good. I'll be like,
That's
I'm not as
actually
dumb as I
good.
look. And then they're all mortified. I'm
You're
like, you
I'm
were
smart
thinking
and I'm
it.
funny.
Yeah.
Even at Miss USA, when I was doing my bikini walk, one of the contestants who I love, who was the first runner up Miss Kentucky, she told me, she's like, Breea, you don't act the way you walk because you are so sweet, but you walk like a I was like, that is the best compliment ever. Thank you.
You do.
I was like, thanks.
I like want to work on my walk just to like be like you.
Just, it's all in like the hips.
Yeah,
and the,
give it to us. Oh my gosh. Incredible.
Thank you to Janelle, who is a choreographer at 24 Dance.
Oh, slay. Janelle,
Slay.
we love you. We love 24/7 dance. Dance Force.
Dance Force.
I love saying like that. Dance Force. Yeah.
See, we didn't have that type of cool stuff in Maui. Like, all we had was sports. We didn't have anything else.
It's okay. So you played volleyball? What did you play?
No, I did soccer growing up, but when I was in high school, I did track. I was a hurdler and I did cheerleading.
My mom wouldn't let me cheerlead.
What?
I was like, please.
Well, my mom didn't let me until I got into high school. It was
okay,
pageants
okay.
and cheerleading. They're like, no.
Oh my gosh. I did pole vault.
You did pole vault?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Did you make it over? My sister did pole vault.
Yeah, I was third in the state.
Wait, what?
Yeah, in middle school.
That's crazy.
Not high school, but yeah.
Good for you.
There may have only been 3 of us, but I was
She
third.
flies.
She flies.
She can defy gravity.
Oh my gosh.
That's great. Oh my
That
God. I
was
want to see
so
a little
good.
star just
Bruh, yeah. I actually got like the worst concussion of my life
Oh, yeah, that's so dangerous.
doing it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because sometimes it just picks, because it's a really thick pole, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you are not in the right, like where you should be holding it,
Right,
and you
right.
just fall, and I
and then
knocked
you go
out.
back.
Only time I've ever knocked out, for real.
Oh my God, that's
was-
so cool.
yeah, it was
cool. Wow.
Yeah, I am an athlete.
She's an athlete.
Yeah.
Yay, sports.
Yay, sports. I'm like such a fidgeter. I'm like moving around this whole time. Okay. I feel like we've talked about it all. We've talked about pageants. We've talked about drama. We've talked about food and eating and boys and dating. And you have, when is Miss Hawaii USA?
It will be in the ending of March.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I have 4 months left.
Wait, has it only been 2 months since you went to
It's been 3 months.
3 months?
Almost 4.
Maybe you can just be Miss Hawaii USA for life.
Yeah, I think we just don't need to have pageants anymore and I'll just be it forever.
Yeah. Perfect. That's
I wish.
great.
No, it's okay. Everything good must come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
My head can't be this big forever. So
Right? I'm always like, one day I'm going to like show my kids these photos and be like, look, your mom
Like,
was
your
hot
mom was
that year.
hot.
She was hot and she killed it. And now I'm your mom. So shut up.
yes.
Now I look
Still
like
hot.
this. Then I
Still
had
hot.
to push you out of my, you know what?
Childbirth is like my worst fear. I'm
No
so
way.
scared.
Are
Yeah.
you going to numb or no?
Of course. Give me all the drugs.
Oh
I don't
my
want to feel
gosh.
that. But I have to find a suitable like man.
Yeah.
So
You know, somebody was telling
maybe that
me.
won't happen.
Oh no, it was Becca was telling me, she's a pastor at Inspire.
Mhm.
And she's married to Johnny Sweet. who's a singer.
Okay.
And she was at a panel and she was saying, you know, everyone says, oh, you're so lucky to have this kind of husband. And she's like, no, I'm not lucky. I picked him. Like,
Yeah,
I pick
period,
it. He's like, girls, you
sis.
pick them.
Yes.
And you go for all the feelings and they look great and they do that. But are you thinking about the kind of husband you'll have in 20 years? Who is he going to serve your needs then? You're picking a father to your children. You're picking a grandfather to your grandchildren. Like, you're picking. And so as much as, you know, I want to settle down and get to that point and learning how to pick.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the important part.
Exactly. I was listening to a podcast where it talked about that. It's like you go on first dates thinking like, oh, I hope he likes me. Oh, I hope like he'll text me after this and want to go on another one. It's like, no, you have to think about it. It's like, no, I pick you. Like, you're lucky if I want to go on a second date. So
Dating mindset.
changing the mindset. We're not going to be picked. We're the picker.
We are the picker.
Yes.
I love that. And all men are dumb and stupid.
And
Sorry. I'm
don't
still
like
working through
men.
some stuff. Yeah. I'm not ready to.
Honestly, I feel like, I had to go through like a really toxic relationship to finally be in that headspace of like hyper independence and be like, okay, like now I could welcome someone into my life.
Yeah. The last guy I was dating, and it was really short. One of the reasons that he said he broke up with me, and there was some real stuff that made us not a match. But one of them, he said, because I can't cook. I don't cook. And to me, I'm very outwardly like, yeah, I don't really cook. Like, I'm busy 24/7. It's not a passion of mine. It feels more like a chore. And I'm like, I would say that. And then he said that. And I was pissed about it. I was like, well, I could have figured it out. Like, that's not a good reason, right?
That's not a good reason.
Yeah. But now I'm like, you know what? I am going to cook. So she's starting to be a chef Arella.
Oh,
I make
she
my
a
food.
chef?
Yeah, I'm chefing. I make things and they're delicious.
I believe it.
So take that,
She's
boy
cooking,
who shan't be named.
She's eating.
Yeah, I'm cooking. I'm eating. Eating the
Gen
dogs.
Z.
Eating the cats. Yeah.
I feel like I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the Gen Z slang.
Bruh.
Like when people say
100.
eating, I'm just like, I'm still not used to that. I'm always like,
Yeah.
slay, slaying.
Yeah. I say slay all the time. Yeah.
Slay, slay.
Yeah. Slay. Yeah. Plus 10,000 aura points.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
I'm
like,
lucky
what?
because there are young kids at church, and one of my best friends, her sister is like 18 or 19. So they keep me young. Like, this is how I get exposed to like the hip young
All of
words. But you know
It's
what's
good to have young friends.
Yeah, the dumb ones are not the dumb kids, but the dumb slang
The
is like
sayings.
alpha, beta.
Yeah, see, what is that?
No,
like an
alpha?
alpha person?
Yeah, alpha's like that's so
Okay.
alpha of you.
Oh,
I
beta
think
is
I'm
like
beta.
the-
That's so beta of you.
Oh,
Like, you're
okay.
so it's
Like
giving
small.
beta. I don't know.
That's weird. I've heard like, oh, what did my director's son is like 12 years old. Skibbity.
Whoa,
Or,
I never
like-
heard that before.
Oh, I can't think. I don't even
Skibbity.
know. I can't even repeat it.
What
'cause
does
I
that
don't even know.
mean?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Like I'll just hear him say, I'm like, what?
skippity doo dah, skippity day.
Hey,
Hey,
Maya.
boom.
Wonderful day. Slay.
Okay, one last question. What's your go-to karaoke song?
I don't like karaoke.
Get out. Are you kidding me?
I know I'm half Filipino. I do not like it because I can't sing.
Me neither.
And I don't really care to go to like hear other people sing. Like I would rather be like
Oh, that's fair.
I'd rather be like in the club or like at a bar, just sipping my
Go,
little drink.
Go,
Yeah,
shawty. It's your
exactly.
birthday. Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah.
That-
Sorry, I didn't get that trait, Dad.
No, I get it, but I also hate you for it. Like, I love karaoke.
Yeah. What is yours? What is your go-to?
It used to be Faded by Tyga. And it's
Yes.
definitely like Forever by Chris Brown is a solid one.
Oh, I love that song.
Let's see. Right now, if I had to say play this song right now, it's definitely Bedchem. It's definitely Bedchem.
What's that song?
What? By
not
Sabrina
know.
Carpenter?
Oh, okay, okay.
Bedchem.
Yes. Slay.
Yeah. Oh, so sweet.
So good. Look at you hitting those notes.
No, if I could sing, it'd be over for these.
Yeah,
it'd be
you're like,
over
it'd be
for all
over.
of you. It'd be over for you if I could sing. Just know that. No, I'm just kidding. Many other things would have to happen.
It already is over. Because Star is
I'm
that
eating.
girl. She's
eating.
eating.
Oh.
She's.
I've been doing this thing where I like twitch my
I
shoulder.
know, I've been doing that lately too. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
wow,
yes.
someone's been doing that, right? Who
Yeah.
invented that? Because I've been doing it.
I don't know, but We should just continue to do it.
Eating. But
Eating.
I'm so scared to watch
You're
this
like,
back.
hit the microphone.
Boom.
Eating.
Yeah. Pow. Okay. I am so obsessed with you. I love you. I'm
you.
honored that you came on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. I hope I didn't offend you or
Oh, no.
make you feel like you have
this.
like answering the Dramalani's questions.
I love it. I bet you my sister's going to listen to this and be like, okay, Breea, really?
No. Because it was between you and me after all.
Yeah, it was just between you and me.
Nobody.
Just us girls.
It's for us. No mics, no cameras. But we do a little thing.
Okay.
Where you just share a little something that's between you and me. So I'm going to have you look into your camera and you're going to say, my name's Breea Yamat and between you and me, something.
Oh, okay.
Something encouraging, something, just eat it. I don't know.
Just a Breea
keep
moment.
eating. Yeah. Just like you're.
Ooh, okay. Let me think. So
Yeah, think about it.
Say my name.
Yeah.
And between me and
Yeah. Do you want me to give you I'll do an example.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Stardal Thurston, and between you and me, I'm eating.
Period. I'm eating.
It's gonna look like I have like some kind of like condition. Yeah, that's okay.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Gotta make sure the hair looks cute.
It's
Give
giving.
her a little bit of volume.
Slay. Okay. We have these monitors in the studio that shows you on camera.
Oh yeah,
and it's
like I can't see what I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Breea Yamat, Miss Hawaii USA 2024, and between you and me, face your fears because it will become your biggest superpower.
That was so KHON perfect. I was living for that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I tell all my little kids when I have my little growth mindset workshops. I'm like, face your fears. Don't be afraid to fail.
Iconic. That's I wish we had talked more about that because that's so good. I mean, we still can, but no. You're very incredible. You're very cool.
Oh, thank you.
You're an inspiration to the youth.
Oh.
And I'm so stoked for you. Praying for you, cheering you on.
Thank you. Love you. Thank you for having me. You're the best.